And we welcome you to New Berlin, New York. This is round number 7 of the 2003 AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championship. And welcome to Unadilla for the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Todd Harris, along with the founder and editor-in-chief of RacerX, Davey Coombs, and Cameron Steele, as our buddy David Bailey tries to heal up from a go-kart injury. We wish him the very best. And what can you say about David Bailey? The guy just loves to race. As we take a look at the AMA U.S. Motocross standings, Ricky Carmichael with a bit of a lead there, Davey, but Kevin Windham, do not count him out.
No, you can't at all. And check it out, Carmichael, not the perfect score, and that's because of Windham getting in there. And a lot of people think if anyone's going to be able to get up there, it's going to be Windham, but no one's done it in 2 years almost, Todd. So why Unadilla?
Well, Ricky Carmichael has dominated Unadilla like he has dominated every other racetrack around the country as he gets prepared for the first moto. Carmichael is on a 21 overall national win streak, but as you pointed out, Kevin Windham is definitely the fly in the ointment.
Well, Kevin's just sort of starting to get his head wrapped around that four-stroke. Earlier, we asked him about some of the advantages of the bike.
I think the four-stroke has been an advantage at a lot of tracks. I think Unadilla is definitely one of them. The track's a little bit slick today. We've made some massive improvements. The last 2 weekends, I've just really been, right on par with my bike, just not wanting to change anything anymore. So it's race ready. I'm race ready. Beautiful day, beautiful track. I'm ready to go.
Well, with the four-stroke, you don't have to just come into the corner and just drop the clutch and hit, the gas wide open. It's got so much torque, you can run it real low in the RPMs and on the throttle, and that way, you're not sliding out. And the power is real smooth and broad, where the two-strokes kind of lights it up a little bit. So the four-stroke could definitely be an advantage, but I don't know. We'll see. Carmichael's has had good luck here in his two-stroke in the past, so we'll see what happens.
Well, Todd, Tim Ferry's another rider on the four-stroke, has had a lot of success. He's getting wrapped up into it a little more, but still, they can't beat Ricky Carmichael. You hear some optimism. You also hear some frustration. The tail of tape, that is a long time for Ricky to be winning. For more on that, let's go down to Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, four-strokes are one thing, but on a roll is what we're talking about. Ricky Carmichael has been seemingly unbeatable forever. 2250 overalls in a row. He only missed one race in that time. He raced a 125 race, and he won that too. That's 21 races in a row the guy has won. He's basically unstoppable. In almost 2 years, he's only lost 2 motos. One to Kevin Windham and one to Tim Ferry, both this year. And also I want to point out, in the final practice before this moto, they're getting set to go in. Kevin Windham had a better lap time by just over 1 second. It should be interesting. It's time to go racing. They're waiting for us. Let's get out of the way.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid for moto number 1, there's Carmichael, Windham, Reed, Ferry, LaRocco, and Ezra Lusk, as David Villeman is also joining them in the fray, and the rest of the crew that we'll see. As we take a look at this track, Davey, who do you like? I mean, the four-strokes are going to be great down this long straightaway.
They will be, and you know what? The track's not as rough as it's been in the past. Believe it or not, I think that the Robinson family maybe over-groomed this track. It's not its old nasty rough self, and you'll see that once they get out there.
This is moto number 1 from Unadilla. We're set to go. Clean start, but this time number 4 is way back in the pack, and Davey, he took off his chest protector. I don't know if he thought he was going to get the whole shot, but Kevin Windham on board the four-stroke is all but gone.
That's exactly what Ricky did last year, Todd. He had so much confidence getting that whole shot. He didn't wear it, and he got great starts, but today you can see he is behind a bunch of four-strokes, and I saw Suzuki sneak up in there. Obviously not Pastrana or Tortelli.
Right now it is number 14, Kevin Windham out of Centerville, Mississippi, who has taken the lead. He will lead them into the green flag lap, and as of yet, I have yet to see number 4, Carmichael, come into view. That's
a local privateer, Damian Plotz, riding in second place. It looks like either Larry Ward or Kyle Lewis in third. That Suzuki is Marco Dorch, who's just over here visiting from Europe.
Ricky Carmichael finally coming into there. There he is, Carmichael finally dropping in, and he is back around 7th or 8th. There's Chad Reed sliding through as well, and Ezra Lusk. Riders off the side.
Saw that. That was Larry Ward, took a little shortcut there.
So Larry Ward pulls a bit of a crazy Ivan. He's back on the track, no harm, no foul. Ricky Carmichael, unbelievable, number 4, sitting in 11th place. And Davey, I hope we haven't jinxed him with the streak.
Well, I hope not too. And I tell you what, Kevin Windham being out front is the worst possible scenario for Ricky. From the moment Windham unloaded his bike here in Unadilla, he's been the fastest in practice. He's been the fastest on Sunday morning, and obviously with a whole shot in a clear track, this does not bode well for RC or that winning streak.
Well, I hope the folks in the Carmichael camp have loaded up his Oakleys with a lot of tear-offs because he's going to need them. Carmichael just going through the pack right now. He's moving his way up, but you make a great point. Kevin Windham out in front is probably the absolute worst person that Carmichael could have leading.
There you see Windham coming past the mechanics area. Look, I love watching him ride a dirt bike. We've missed that on the racetrack, and I know these Unadilla fans have too. A lot of signs out there. Go Windham, go K-Dub, and wow, look at that lead he's already got.
Kevin Windham, number 14, on board. The Honda is absolutely flying through this. This is what we've grown accustomed to seeing from number 4, Ricky Carmichael. But today it is not the case as Carmichael now comes through, sitting way back in the pack, and his good friend Chad Reed right in front of him.
Nice, big, wide track. Look at that. Unadilla is unlike any other track, Todd. I tell you, the fans love it. If you're a traditionalist, if you're a new school guy, if you're a Carmichael fan or GP motocross fan, this doesn't get any better than this.
The battle for 7th rages on. Chad Reed takes the inside line. Ricky Carmichael on a mission, goes to the outside. Perfect line for him, and he moves up another position. In the past, Davey, a lot of rocks. This place has been known for the rocks. You pointed out the big rocks are gone, but there are a lot of little rocks. Surprising to see Ricky not taking the precaution of wearing a chest protector.
Oh, for sure. You know what? Again, I think he was planning on a much better start. But you know what? Even later in the race when he's lapping people, and obviously Carmichael's going to lap a lot of people when he's out front, he's going to get peppered because there's not just one 4-stroke out there. There's got to be more than 20, and every one of those bikes throws back a huge roost. And you can see the little rocks there. I mean, it's not sand out there. Those things hurt.
That is Damian Plotz currently sitting in 2nd place behind him. In 3rd, number 11, Yogi coming into it. Ezra Lust sitting in 3rd, maybe the best run for Ezra all year long.
Yeah, and you know what? That kind of goes against the way we've been talking about the 4-stroke advantage. And here you see Carmichael, the other 2-stroke coming up, just passing Kyle Lewis there. But wow, a long way to go to catch number 14.
Ricky Carmichael has come from the sands of Hades to move all the way up into 5th place. When we come back, we'll see if his assault on the leader, Kevin Windham, will continue. And we welcome you back to round 7 from Unadilla, New York. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs, Cameron Steele, and David Bailey in spirit only. As we take a look at moto number 1, that is Ezra Lust currently sitting in 3rd place, trying to make a move up. And the battle for 2nd rages on with Ricky Carmichael right behind him.
We got to think this isn't going to last very long for Plotz and Lust because Carmichael is coming. He knows he's got his work cut out for him. Windham 16 seconds ahead and pulling away. Ricky has not put himself in a good position at all here at Unadilla.
Plotz on the right side, Ezra Lusk on the inside. Lusk taking the better line. He moves up to 2nd. And now Ricky Carmichael trying to get past him. He'll dice down below. There's Damian Plotz now in 4th. And Carmichael once again doing battle with Ezra Lusk, but Lusk able to hold him off in the last turn.
Nice outside line there by Ezra. I didn't even know that line existed, but you see Carmichael turning around, coming up around the mechanics area. And now that's just courage there, whoever holds on longest off that blind jump. And Ricky goes right into another position.
So Carmichael, who's in no man's land on the green flag lap, has now worked himself up to 2nd place. Dare I say, it's Bubba-esque in the way he has moved through the pack, but that's another story. But Ricky Carmichael's problems are not over as he now sits in 2nd place behind Kevin Windham.
See the pass here. Lusk comes along the inside. Ricky tries just a little inside-out maneuver. See him slide in. He couldn't make the pass stick, but then coming up over the top here, look at that. Jumping off that blind jump. That's 4th gear wide open on a 250. Just holds on a little longer as they drop down into the wall.
So Carmichael, by virtue of this move, now inherits 2nd place. Ezra Lusk sits in 3rd. But that man, Kevin Windham, number 14, on board the Honda ride, is all but gone. And this is what I think a lot of people, Davey, have been waiting to see. Kevin Windham just absolutely dominating the race. Ricky Carmichael, I dare say, is nowhere to be found.
Look at that. Not even in the picture. You see him wrap around the trees there. He's already pulled a little bit of a gap on Lusk and Plotz, but I tell you, the race starts now for Ricky if he's going to beat Kevin Windham here. You see Kyle Lewis coming around leading Chad Reed. I thought we'd see more from Chad Reed on this track. Chad's that GP experience, and last year, of course, that big battle with Bubba, I had a feeling he'd want to come here and sort of avenge himself to the Unadilla fans, but like Ricky, just didn't get a very good start.
It's all about the start here, and that's exactly what Kevin Windham did. He got the whole shot and is all but checked out. This is the battle for 5th place, number 22 on board the blue Yamaha. That is Chad Reed, the man who chased Ricky Carmichael all the way to the finish of the Supercross season, and he just got a face full of roost.
Yeah, and you saw Tim Ferry, his teammate behind him, come through and just outpower him coming out of that corner. And right there, he cut down to the inside as we were watching Mike LaRocco sneaking up. Oh, Ferry get a little out of control there, but look at that. Used this to his advantage, passes Kyle Lewis, and now looks like Reed's going to try and do the same thing.
Well, Timmy Ferry, number 15 on board the Yamaha, is riding a 4-stroke, so he has an advantage there, and he's making it work. Number 23 is Kyle Lewis, now sits in 6th place as Chad Reed airs it out. And here comes Timmy Ferry.
Now he's coming up on Plotz, that quick start privateer. Ferry, right there you see Reed on the outside. Ferry riding really well, very aggressive, but I'd expected a better start from him on the YZ450F.
This is the battle for 4th. Timmy Ferry on the right-hand side, Plotz on the left. Plotz miscalculates that, so Ferry will go into 4th, and Plotz slides back to 5th. On the outside, Tim Ferry, number 15, Chad Reed, number 22. And Timmy Ferry just takes a beautiful line there, Davey.
Yeah, he was on the gas. That's the longest straightaway on this track, and you know, the way things shaped up today, maybe the roughest too. And Ferry riding very aggressively, very impressed by it. You see Plotz almost get a little out of control there. And now we got a big battle going on, and LaRocco's coming up on it.
So LaRocco gets into the fray as they battle for 5th. Chad Reed tries to dice down low, can't get it done, but he's back on the throttle quick.
So Reed come up on the inside there. Oh! Get out there and say, hey, I'm a factory rider. You don't belong here. Reed, a little statement there to Damian Plotz, but Plotz, real good start, but you can see the pack starting to swallow him up. These are the veterans, these are the top guys. Now you see LaRocco starting to come up on Kyle Lewis. LaRocco also not what I was expecting from him in the Nationals so far this year.
Back to our leader, this is Kevin Windham. His lead has increased 16.25 seconds. So Kevin Windham sending a statement. We'll be back to Unadilla right after this short break. And welcome back to Unadilla. This is stop number 7 of the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championships, the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs and Cameron Steele. This is Moto number 1 in the 250 class, and it has all been Kevin Windham. He is out in front. Meanwhile, Chad Reed has his hands full with a battle for 5th.
Right there, David Villeman goes by on the inside, his Yamaha teammate. Difference is Villeman's on that YZ450F and Reed riding the YZ250. But I tell you, Chad hasn't been himself, or at least not the guy we saw during Supercross. And to be honest with you, the word in the pits is he's thinking Supercross only contract in the future and just not putting his heart into the Nationals. If he ever did, I think he'd be right up there with Ricky and Kevin.
David Villeman putting in a stellar performance. As we look at the pass one more time, Villeman also getting a poor start. And look at that, 3 wide. And it's Villeman who comes out ahead of Chad Reed as he drops down. Chad Reed getting a face full of roost one more time. Meanwhile, Kevin Windham out in front, your leader. 16-second lead over Ricky Carmichael. Davey, that's almost unheard of.
Oh, yeah, and look at him. He's just cruising. Doesn't have a speck of dirt on him. You see the white flag come out, and Kevin just rolling to a win. And there you see another Honda rider, Ernesto Fonseca, like Chad Reed. His summer hasn't been going very well either.
Ricky Carmichael trying to track down Kevin Windham. The white flag is out. It looks like Carmichael may run out of real estate as Kevin Windham just got an amazing start. Ricky Carmichael just the exact opposite. He was top maybe 20 if he was lucky. Worked his way up, did a heroic job of getting up to 2nd. But today it's been all Kevin Windham in Moto 1.
Yeah, I tell you what, this reminds me of Hangtown. Remember that great opening moto Kevin had? Now the big question, will he be able to come back and answer? Because Carmichael, we don't see him on the ropes very often, but when he gets on him, he fights back. And wow, he's going to have his work cut out for him. You see Windham waving to the fans. You know, this may not be very close to Mississippi, but he's got a lot more fans out here than Ricky, I can tell you that.
Well, it's been a beautiful race for Kevin Windham, but not for everyone else. Keith Johnson starts the carnage off early, goes down in that first turn, Davey, and then we have more accidents on the track.
This, of course, was when Larry Ward decided to take that little detour, the Crazy Ivan, as you called it. Look at those guys just, well, that guy didn't get out of the way, but could have been a lot worse than it was.
And then this is number 505, and he finds out just how hard Unadilla is.
Welcome to Unadilla, Chris Hunter.
Back to our leader on the white flag lap. This is Kevin Windham. From start to finish, he's getting ready to look at some checkers. And an amazing performance. Put this into perspective, and do you think he's already thinking about Moto number 2?
Well, he's got to, because he's beaten Ricky before. You know, this is not like the first time this has ever happened. But the way everything's going, he's got all the momentum. He's proven he could beat him. He's proven he can do the faster lap. Now he's just got to hold it together in between motos. And I don't know, a lot of pressure in the second moto for Kevin Windham.
A lot of pressure on Kevin Windham as he takes the checkered flag and the win here in Moto number 1. And a lot of pressure on Ricky Carmichael. Will the streak of 21 overall national wins continue, or will it end here at Unadilla? Ricky Carmichael actually losing time here on the last lap, 18.5 seconds behind our leader and winner, Kevin Windham. We come back, we'll talk to K-Dub, plus the Thor Celebrity Motocross Ride. Stay with us.
Today, basically what we did was we brought in, 30, 35 of the top extreme sport athletes in the world. We turned them loose on the Glen Helen track in pretty much a run what you brung event. The Thor Celebrity Motocross National at Glen Helen, presented by the National Promoters Group, was a 30-minute moto practice session and then a 3-lap kind of a mini main event.
I knew that Hart would probably be the best guy out there besides me on the track, and he ended up getting the whole shot, so it was kind of cool. It wasn't really that boring having him, at least on the first lap, banging each other. And then he was complaining a little about his knee hurting from practice, so he let me by over after the first lap. But that's cool. I wish he would have been able to hang it out with me and bump and bang for 3 laps, but it's cool, it's awesome.
He was gonna win it. He was in front the first lap till his knee started hurting him.
It's all good. I just want to
I
finish.
don't care what anybody says. That race was his.
I just wanted to finish. It was fun. It was fun riding with Mike. Like me and Mike grew up racing together, so it's pretty cool to be out on the track with him again. It's rad.
I felt more nervous here than I did at the Olympics before, And Kitzbühel is our #1 downhill on the World Cup Tour, and I'd say it's more like Glen Helen because it's just gnarly, You're just getting beat around.
It's similar to mountain biking because it's dirt, but that's about the only similarity. And then we did have the big hill climb and the descent, which that was my favorite part, was coming down the steep hill, because that's all we ever do.
I've been watching the National here at Glen Helen for a long time, and I always wondered what it was like to go up and down those hills, and they're pretty gnarly. I'd much rather be surfing big waves than going up and down these hills. It was brutal out there. I haven't ridden a bike in quite some time, and it's just so hard to ride. The track is just tough. He's good at building tracks. I'll build this stuff all day long, but I'll keep it to these guys to ride on it real fast.
What I got out of it was a lot of fun and a great experience, riding in sandy conditions and riding up steep hills and just the feeling of that competition and just learning how to ride my bike a little bit better, and I had a great time.
I think the biggest thing I got out of riding the celebrity race today was just to bring back memories of my outdoor national career and how gnarly riding an outdoor track is. It's just really cool to come out here and meet up with everyone, see Hart, see all the snowboarders, skateboarders, caballeros out here, everyone, just an assortment of different souls. So it was really good to come and be able to do this. And it's awesome that AMA allows this. It's really, really good for the sport as far as, the notoriety and bringing the sport to other people's eyes. It's awesome.
Back at Unadilla for the Lucas Oil Pro MX Championship. We just conclude Moto #1 in the 250 class. Your winner, Kevin Windham, as we take a look at the Honda official results. It's Windham followed by Carmichael, Ferry, Lusk, and David Villeman rounding out the top 5. An amazing run by him. Chad Reed will wind up in 6th place, and Keith Johnson, who went down, good for him, gets back up and finishes in 11th. Right now, let's send it down to the podium where the hardest working man in motocross, Cameron Steele, is standing by with our winner.
Just a breath of fresh air.
Well, Kevin, you said before the day actually started that you felt ready to go. I think you proved it there in the first moto that things might be a-changing.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to jump out to a good start. And my Michelin tires, factory connection, Honda definitely did that, you know. I wanted to get out there quick because everybody knows what this Unadilla track's like, and it's full of rocks, and they're not fun to get hit with. So fortunately, I was able to get the whole shot and just kind of check out, keep an eye on my competition, and keep them at bay.
We talked about the training, we've talked about the haircut, you talked about the track here at Unadilla. What do you expect from Ricky Carmichael in the second moto? I mean, it takes 2 motos to win a day of motocross racing.
Oh, absolutely. I expect the same thing out of Ricky that I always expect out of him. You know, I had a good moto. I've been having a good day, but you never go to sleep with a competitor like Ricky. And I'm just going to keep my head down, keep charging. You know, when I saw that I had him behind me, I wanted to kind of just cool out, ride what I needed to maintain my position. And when I found out that I could do that, it was just kind of smooth sailing. Save some for the second moto, but come out just as serious as I did for this one.
Awesome job. We're all looking forward to the second moto.
Thanks. Yeah, I got to thank the rest of my sponsors. No Fear, Rye Helmets, Spy Goggles, Alpine Star Boots. I already said the Michelin tires and Factory Connection and Honda for sure. And Lee Dungaree Jeans. Thanks a lot.
Toddy should have thanked his barber. Check out the new haircut on Wyndham.
Kevin Wyndham doing a great job in moto number 1. As we take a look at the upcoming events, August 16 and 17, we're going to Millville. Then on the 23rd and 24th, we're up to Binghamton, New York. And on the 29th, we'll go to Delmont, Pennsylvania. Right now, let's send it back down to Cameron at the podium.
For the fans at home, they may not be able to see these boulders and rocks flying. Tell them about what it's like passing at Unadilla.
It's tough, you know. You try to just, you know, cross the line all the time and just not to get roosted, because you know, you get hit in the collarbone or fingers, you definitely break your fingers so easily. And just try to stay out of the roost and do what Kevin did, get a good start, and, you know, walk away with it.
Solid performance. We'll see you in Moto 2, Timmy.
For sure, Kevin.
Well, the battle ends here for Moto 1, but the war continues in Moto 2.
Yeah, it does. You know, it's that was a battle, and not much of a battle, just a battle on lap times. You know, me trying to catch him and him going back and forth. So it's going to be a better second moto.
Thanks, Ricky.
Thanks a lot.
So Ricky Carmichael has to settle for second, something he does not like to do very often. Kevin Wyndham will come back in moto number 2 and try to pick up the overall, thus breaking the streak of Ricky Carmichael. Right now it's time for the Racer X Pit Pass. Moto number 2 is straight ahead, plus the Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap from Unadilla.
Well, people, it's time for the Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap. I put the camera on my helmet and show you what's going on. We're at Unadilla, and man, this place is legendary. In fact, it's so legendary, I got nervous out there. I already rode. Look, check it out. Boom, took one on the chin. Busted up my tongue. That's my working device. It's gonna be hard to talk all day, but hey, I'm still having fun. It looks loamy out there, but it's really slippery. I'm really confused. Let's go out and check out the track. The starting gate is dirt, and you're gonna go into a unique starting straightaway. It's a roller, downhill, uphill, right-hand turn, and then into a rough straightaway. This right-hand turn, you go inside. I'm getting the inside, you go outside. You want to apex your turns. For me, I just want to get around them. Slippery out here, coming around. You can see the fans outside. Left-hand turn coming up. Lots of braking bumps. This is a gravity cavity. Pick your line, jump in. Little bit of step down to the bottom, jump out. Next up, a right-hand turn, a weird stutter jump down, and then a left-right combo. Huge ruts here during the race and around the tree section. Down into the bottom part of the valley, a left-hand turn, a sweeping right. It's always really slippery and full of ruts, and then into the first uphill section. You go up, horseshoe back, left-hand turn, Once you set your line here, just step down. Not a huge one, maybe 50 feet to clear it, but get on the gas. Off camber, I like inside line, seems a little bit safer. Get on the gas again, the ground's rolling away right now. You can see, double jump, kind of just rolling through it early here. Jump to nowhere, back on the gas, and step it down into this left-hand turn. After the left, you're gonna set up through the off camber. This is the biggest jump on the track, a tabletop about 90 feet. Guys will be flying, pulling tear-offs. A right-hand turn uphill, past where the mechanics can see once again. A drop down and then a right-hand turn. That's gonna send you down the steepest part of the course. Steep downhill, hard left back up, a steep line. And then a little tabletop, setup jump, a tabletop to the right, and then you're gonna make a left-hand turn. That's gonna get you back to the start straight. And that's your Sobe Suzuki Fast Lap.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. The racing continues here at Unadilla as we get set for Moto number 2. And this was the scene moments ago. Very interesting, Davey.
Yeah, it's Jeff Stanton. Carmichael out there getting a little bit of tips from the track. You know what Stanton would know? He won 3 United States 250cc Grand Prix here at Unadilla, and Ricky's looking for clues, that's for sure.
Well, let's check in with Cameron Steele, who has an interesting story about the off-road community coming together for a cause.
Well, we got them racked up for Moto number 2 in the 250s. I want to tell you about something really cool. Scott USA got together with the GNCC people, and they're making a special goggle you'll be able to buy to help send the international 6-day enduro crew overseas to do battle for the United States. We talked to Vivo 40 about it, and he fills you in on what's going on.
We took our no-sweat goggle, has no-sweat foam, put an amp blue lens on it, made a special frame, made a special strap that says GNCC on it, and the purpose of this goggle is to raise money for the ISDE team, and so we can go over there and bring home some gold. And basically, God bless America.
You know, Bevo's always a proponent of anything Team USA, and good to see Scott USA get on board like that.
Absolutely. As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid for Moto number 2, I think all eyes will be on number 14 and number 4 to find out if Ricky Carmichael, A, can get a better start, and if B, Kevin Windham can do exactly what he did in Moto number 1, which is absolutely dominate. Well, the 30 board is sideways. We are set to go racing. This is Moto number 2, stop number 7 from Unadilla.
And it looks like Carmichael, much better start on the inside, and right there goes Windham.
Kevin Windham just sweeping in like a vulture on its prey from the outside, drops in on Ricky Carmichael's world, and Carmichael back into third. There's Chad Reed, number 22, on the outside. While he's concerned with that, he's got more Yamaha issues.
Yes, David Billiman swept in on the inside, the same kind of pass he used on Reed in the first moto, but this time he did it in traffic. Look at that, Windham already getting a little room, but Carmichael is right there. Whoa! Big jump out of gravity cavity, man. That's got to hurt when he lands. It goes around the outside, and now this is it, Todd. This is what we've been waiting for.
So the Cobra getting into the fray early on, sits in third, but your leader, the man who won Moto number 1, Kevin Windham, and he is looking to make history today here at New Berlin, New York, Unadilla. Will the streak be broken? Ricky Carmichael, 21 overall national wins. It may be coming to a close, courtesy of KW.
Todd, who's got more pressure on him? Windham to break the streak or Carmichael to keep it?
I'd have to say Ricky Carmichael right now. I think in the back of his mind, losing is the first and foremost thing. He does not like that in one bit. But Kevin Windham, he seems so easy, so loose, and unlike Sampson, cutting the hair off has not sapped his power.
You can see he's already starting to open up a little bit of a gap, just like the first moto. First moto was Damian Plotz. This time, he's pulling Ricky Carmichael. Look at that lead.
So number 14, Kevin Windham in first. Ricky Carmichael sits in second, and he is certainly has the attention right now of Kevin Windham. Carmichael trying to get his way back up there and make this one close. He definitely does not want to let that 4-stroke check out on him like he did in Moto number 1.
See, the track's gotten a little rougher too, but again, that big 450 Honda just eating up those big hills, and Carmichael looking a little more ragged than Kevin, although he did a little dab right there at the top of the wall, dropping down in. And he looks aggressive today.
Windham's last big win was in 1997. He was on board a 125 right here at Unadilla. Will he make it again and make history on the 250? And right now he is looking phenomenal.
See him coming around, takes a little glance back to see where RC is, and RC much closer than he was at any point in that first moto, other than maybe when they were in the staging area. Now you see Villeman kind of separate himself from Chad Reed for third, and kind of wondering where Tim Ferry is.
Timmy Ferry, who placed third in moto number 1, not on the board right now. He is out of the top 4. The two Yamahas, Villeman and Chad Reed, going 3 and 4. And the Cobra looking very good. We haven't seen this kind of performance from him for a long time, ever since his accident down in Daytona.
Yeah, you know, that took a lot of the wind out of his sails. I know that David was really looking forward to having a good outdoor season, but he lost all that time in testing, and yeah, that's got to hurt your confidence a little bit too. Big injury. I know that that really affected David Bailey as well too, and right now it looks like they're getting back into it, and he's picking up the pace, and there you see Damian Plotz, another good start. He's in 5th, and there's Tim Ferry we were talking about.
Timmy Ferry currently sitting in 6th place, certainly trying to make up for what has happened here in the early going. Ferry will move into 5th place, so Ferry looking very good for a possible podium at the end of the day. But the story right now is Ricky Carmichael and Kevin Windham as Ferry sits in 5th place. Will the streak be broken? Can Ricky Carmichael track down Kevin Windham, or will Kevin Windham reign supreme in Unadilla?
And speaking of Kevin Windham and Ricky Carmichael, and right now we're watching Ferry. Got a little scoop for you, Todd. It looks like Team USA at the Motocross of the Nations this year is going to be just that, our first moto podium from Unadilla. Nothing's been announced, but from what I understand, Carmichael's going to lead the way with Windham and Ferry. First time Team USA has raced the Destinations since back in the year 2000 when they won in France.
That will be the proverbial dream team with Ferry, Windham, and Carmichael leading the way for Team USA. We're going to step aside from Unadilla, your running order: Kevin Windham, Carmichael, Villeman, and Reed. Back after this. The story going into the 1996 250 National at Unadilla was Jeremy McGrath's domination of the series' first 7 rounds and Jeff Emmig's attempt to reel in the 250 National champ. Number 2, Emmig jumped out to an early lead, but number 5, Ryan Hughes, wouldn't let Jeff go so quickly as his Cowie teammate went by for the lead. McGrath would have a tough time making it by Mike LaRocco, and through the pack finishing 4th in moto number 1. Number 16, Greg Albertina raced a mid-pack start as he worked his way up, passing number 11, Kyle Lewis, for 3rd. As the moto wound down, Jeff Emmig reclaimed the lead that he had loaned Ryan Hughes. Hughes fell even further as Albie made his inside move and put himself behind Jeff Emmig as the checkered flag waved. Things were rougher for Emmig in Moto 2 as the leader hit a berm, sending him and Kyle Lewis, who had nowhere to go, to the ground. Jeremy McGrath avoided the mess and looked to reclaim his spot up front from number 6, Larry Ward. MC took off from that point, but would only gain the overall if Ward could hold off the hard-charging Albertine. The 3-time world motocross champ makes the pass and cruises in 2nd behind McGrath. The 2-2 finish gives Greg Albertine an emotional first victory here in the United States. And back to racing action here at Unadilla, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs and Cameron Steele. And your leader here in Moto number 2 is Kevin Windham. Ricky Carmichael is hard on the gas, but Davey, we've seen this before. Can he reel in number 14?
Well, of course he can. He's Ricky Carmichael. He's arguably the greatest motocross rider ever lived, but at the same time, Kevin Windham might be the most naturally talented motocross rider ever lived. And just this summer, we're starting to really see his full potential as we see John Sebastian Waugh come up out Gravity Cavity. But of course Ricky can catch him, but the question is, will he have time?
What is on the line? 21 overall national wins by number 4, Ricky Carmichael, and right now that streak is in jeopardy of being killed as we look back in the pack as the rest of the field comes through this very difficult and challenging track here at Unadilla.
Very impressed with Damian Plotz this week. He is riding very, very well. You know, he grew up right down the road in Pennsylvania, but because there's no amateur races there, he has absolutely no home field advantage. It's like living down in Georgia and never getting to play Augusta if you're a golfer. You know, Unadilla, imagine a great track like this and never being able to get out on it.
So Plotz is holding off Waugh right now, and here's Tim Ferry, who made his move just moments ago.
Look at that. That's the difference between a factory bike and someone else's bike. Just comes down the inside, and I walked over there between motos. That is a very nasty downhill section, and a lot of courage there from Tim Ferry.
So the two Yamahas will now do battle. Tim Ferry and his teammate, number 12, David Villeman, the Cobra. Good to see him back in striking position, but Ferry has looked good all day, getting a 3rd place in moto number 1. Ferry sitting in 4th, and I think he'd like to get back on the podium for the overall.
Well, I think in this battle, Timmy has the advantage. He's gotten more time on the 4-stroke, and as we mentioned, the first moto, David coming back from an injury, still trying to get it sorted out, but you know, this is the fastest I've seen David ride this summer, to be honest with you.
Team Yamaha has a stable of fast horses with Chad Reed, Villeman, and Tim Ferry. And right there, it looks like the Cobra ran out of venom. He just moved aside.
Wow, a little bit of Matador defense there by Villeman. He just kind of opened the door, but maybe has something going on there. That was kind of uncharacteristic. You see Villeman on the outside. He starts looking over, checking out Ferry, and just says, hey, go ahead. Right on by. You know, there's been some tension on that Yamaha team, Todd, especially between Tim Ferry and Chad Reed. It kind of boiled over at Budds Creek, but I thought those two guys were getting along well.
Well, while that continues on, Wyndham continues to lead. Let's check in with Cameron Steele, who's with John Hyland.
Well, Jonathan, how's the stress level right now? Looks like Ricky's coming up on you guys just a little bit. Kevin likes to relax mid-moto?
Well, it seems like Ricky will catch him, Kevin will pull away. They're just doing back and forth, back and forth. They're both pushing each other real hard right now. This moto is faster than the first one by far.
Every time you hear a 4-stroke over there, your head swivels. I'm going to let you go.
Thank you.
You know, Todd, I think part of that is because on this side of the valley where the mechanics are, it's a little more technical, and I think Carmichael's going faster, but when you get on the far side and Wyndham lets that big dog eat going up those hills, he goes around the outside, I think that's where that horsepower advantage is really coming through, so that's why we're having sort of this push and pull at the front in the battle between Wyndham and Carmichael.
You're in charge is what that pit board said, and that can apply to 2 men. Right now, Ricky Carmichael looks to be in charge. As Davey pointed out, he looks very fast in that technical section, starting to close the gap in on Kevin Wyndham. And Ricky Carmichael is in the race of his life. Does the streak live on, or does it die here at Unadilla?
I'll tell you what, he's got to stay with Wyndham. He let him get away in the first moto. Much better start this time, but see the tension on Jeannie Carmichael. They are not used to being in this position.
And meanwhile, Kevin Wyndham's father watches on. We'll see the conclusion when we come back. Welcome back to New Berlin, New York. This is stop number 7, Unadilla Valley Sports Center Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championships. Todd Harris along with the famous Davey Coombs and Cameron Steele, and we have got a battle royale at Unadilla. Ricky Carmichael, who lost the first moto, took second to Kevin Wyndham. His streak is in jeopardy, and he is behind Wyndham once again and a lap rider.
Yeah, and believe it or not, those last 2 lap riders they passed were guys who finished in the top 10, Kyle Lewis and John Dowden. Look, Ezra Lust, they just lapped him. These guys are in a war, and I tell you, whoa, you see a fan out on the track. Holy smokes.
Get off the tracks like running of the bulls.
Yeah, but Carmichael has given Wyndham all he wants, but Wyndham is answering. I tell you, the old Kevin Wyndham, the one that quit a couple years ago, would not still be leading this race.
Kevin Wyndham has absolutely set the track on fire today, and Ricky Carmichael has of yet had no answer for KW and number 14.
You see Ricky, just like Ferry in the first moto, using every inch of the track, but Wyndham just riding smooth out front. I'm very impressed. Look at that, just flying around that corner. See Carmichael looking for a way around Ezra Lusk. Lusk probably not used to seeing a blue flag. These guys are definitely on a track by themselves today. Way out in front of everyone, taking the battle. White flag out, Carmichael is running out of time.
Ricky Carmichael is 1 lap away from the 21 overall national win streak being broken here at Unadilla, and I can guarantee what's going through his mind right now, not only does he not want to lose the overall, but he does not want to have to answer questions when it's all over about what went wrong. And right now, Ricky Carmichael, as Davey Coombs pointed out, he is running out of real estate here in New Berlin, New York.
And I tell you, that 2:11 on that lap is a very, very fast lap for Carmichael. He's letting it all hang out here. He's got a 50-point lead, nothing to lose in the championship, but he doesn't want this streak to end. But look at this, Wyndham is like the Iceman. He has not made a single mistake today, although it looks like his boot buckle has come loose there on the brake side, but it's not going to slow him down now.
Kevin Wyndham is almost on a virtual parade lap. Look at that last lap time. He matches Ricky Carmichael and goes beneath it by almost a full second. So Kevin Wyndham certainly not resting on his laurels here at Unadilla. He is absolutely taking this track by storm, and he is going to send a statement not given, taken. And that's exactly what Kevin Windham has done today. Ricky Carmichael cannot come out and say, I fell, I had this. Kevin Windham just flat out beat the fastest man in the world.
I tell you what, Carmichael's streak lasted longer than the Miami Dolphins winning streak. It lasted longer than 4 U.S. presidents. I personally thought it was going to go at least to the end of the year, but it looks like it's got about a half lap left.
Well, September of '01 was the last win for Kevin Windham, and he is well overdue. Kevin Windham is on his way to picking up a huge victory here at Unadilla. He's done it before on the 125, and here he is on the 250. It's a win-win for the folks at Honda.
It is, it is. You see the factory connection guys out there on the track giving them the go-ahead. You hear the fans yelling. This is not a boo for Ricky Carmichael. This is a cheer for someone else getting up there and beating him. And, you know, why not Kevin Windham? It's so good to have him back in the series. Faster than ever, and now just a corner away from breaking something that has just been phenomenal in this sport.
Well, the sting of defeat will last with Ricky Carmichael for a week. But what a breath of fresh air. Kevin Windham has done it. He has dethroned the king in Ricky Carmichael. The streak is over. Number 4 will have to settle for second place today.
Look at that. Looks like Ricky doesn't want to stop. He just went by a checkered flag. Well done, Ricky. Well done.
A classy move by both gentlemen. Kevin Windham reigns supreme today, but you can guarantee Ricky Carmichael will regroup for Washougal. As we take a look at the Honda official results, it's Windham, Carmichael, Ferry, Villeman, and Chad Reed, followed by Wad, LaRocco, Dubé, Lusk, and Lewis rounding out your top 10. What a great day for guys like John Dowd, Damian Plotz. We can't say enough about him. 2 great starts in 2 motos. What a tremendous performance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about a comeback, you come back because you think you can win, you try to win. The last time you won a motocross race, Steel City 2001, you're also the last rider to beat Ricky Carmichael heads up in a 250 race almost 2 years ago, Washougal. Which is sweeter, the comeback trail coming together for you, beating Ricky's, reign? Where does it fit in? The emotions must be going crazy.
They are, you know, it's so wild to go out there and ride a lap after you've just been hanging it out for 35 minutes, and to see the excitement around the crowd and everything, and I don't think it's sank in exactly what it means, you know. I mean, he's been so phenomenal, just so unbeatable, and I'm stoked that it's me up there doing it, you know. I think that, you know, I did a lot of soul searching. I did everything I could to try to get myself back, and it's just a sign that I think that I did the right thing, you know. And you know, the way that my sponsors have my program structure with Factory Connection, Honda, No Fear, Lee Dungarees, and my wife and my baby, the way they can come around and stuff, it's just an awesome feeling for me, and everything's just right on par.
No one's ever doubted the fact that you're one of the most unbelievable riders ever to ride a motorcycle. You come right out at Glen Helen, and you're like right in the mix. Were you surprised? And do you think it just took a little bit of time for you to really get in your groove in the races? I mean, we're not that far into the season.
Yeah, I mean, I've only actually raced that bike, you know, out here in the series, you know, and the Honda 450 is incredible, but there's so much that goes on. There's so many good riders across the world, you know, but when you get behind that gate, it's a whole different deal, you know, and I think that it took me a little while to get going. When I didn't have it going, I didn't get discouraged. I just kept plugging apart, and it paid off for me now, you know. It's not time to get cocky. It's time to go out there and just keep working. He's an incredible guy. I had better lap times than him today, and he knew it. I knew it because of the lap times. And still, he did not let me go, you know. He just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's what he does. I learned something from him whether I beat him or not. So, you know, today was a learning curve. Fortunately for me, I just came out on top.
And our congratulations to Kevin Windham. He reigns supreme here at Unadilla. As we take a look at the Honda final standings for the day, is Windham going 1-1, Carmichael, Ferry, Villeman, and Chad Reed, your top 5. And we want to send out our best wishes to David and Erica Villeman as they are expecting a baby girl anytime this week. But Davey, what a great day of racing at Unadilla. Not as many rocks, but great racing, and congratulations to Kevin Windham.
And Windham did it just the way he had to do it, with a 1-1. You can't get any faster than that. I'm curious to hear what Ricky has to say.
RC, what a run it's been.
It has, man. It's been great. You know, Kevin's the last guy to beat me on the 250s and outdoors at least, and he beat me today. You know, he was riding good, and there's nothing I could do. I mean, he got the whole shot, and I was second, and then Reed got by me, so I was third. But I was able to get by him, and just trying to chip away laps. I mean, that guy was on a rail, and I was twisting that sucker as fast as I could go, and he was better.
You're ever the gracious champion. A great job today, Ricky. Second place, nothing to scoff at. Unbelievable job.
Thanks a lot. You know, the Honda was running good today. I think I was the only 2-stroke in sight, so that's nice. And it was a good day. And all good things come to an end, and it came today. And you know, I'm just going to go back, regroup, and try to get it going.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks.
Well, that's a tough one for Ricky Carmichael to swallow as we take a look at the AMA US Motocross standings. Wyndham now 53 points back. Chad Reed moved into third, and Timmy Ferry sits there in fourth. But the streak, I guess it had to come to an end sometime, Davey.
It sure did. You know what? I hope a lot of people put into perspective exactly what Ricky Carmichael accomplished. I know sometimes they slag off on him because the intensity doesn't come through, but he's the best motocross rider we have ever seen, period.
Amen, brother. So on behalf of Davey Coombs and Cameron Steele, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from Unadilla. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.